It is a dark thing to contemplate a demon's name. Perhaps you can shed light on the matter.
Tell him the demon is in Dr. Deva himself, and that his real name is Adramalik.
Jahan looks at you utterly flabbergasted, but soon an air of serenity descends upon him, that of a chess player overlooking the board.
Adramalik. You have to admire his cunning. To think that in his guise of Deva, he and I shared the finest wines in the realm. Stories of the women we have loved. Thank you, Godwoken. You have done me an unparalleled service, and you've quite humbled me at the same time. You must go your path, I mine, so that I may confront the archdemon in his lair, in the great city of Arx. Please accept this token of gratitude, and fare thee well. You have done me a great service. The time has come to serve you, if I can. Are you ready, Lohse?
Okay, we'll take care of that in a second. First, let's take a look at what we have here. 150 physical armor, 32 magical, plus 2 wits, plus 10 poison resistance, plus 122 HP, plus 3% dodging, requires strength 13. That seems like a straight up improvement over my current pants. Art Koshul, 42 physical and 212 magical armor, plus 2 strength, plus 2 huntsman, plus 1 hydrosophist. Inflict chilled on contact. So that's for beast maybe. Saboteur, 36 to 37 physical damage, plus 2 finesse, plus 1 single-handed, plus 1 dual wielding, can backstab, and it gives the skill Sawtooth Knife. And Exacta, it's a crossbow that gives you Sky Shot, plus 3 finesse, minus 1 movement, set shield for 1 turn, 20% chance to succeed. Atrophy for 1 turn, 20% chance to succeed, plus 5 accuracy. What do we have here? Okay, it's Pierce, a spear which uses finesse, of course. Plus 3 finesse, plus 6 initiative. Set poison for 1 turn, 20% chance to succeed. 14% lifesteal. I mean, that's cool, but none of us can use it right now. I think I might go with... I guess we could take this, though I don't think Beast actually has any Hydrosophist stuff, so that would be kind of wasted. I guess I'll take this then, the enchanted leg armor. Alright, now let's continue with this.
Right. Really? Okay, yes. What? I'm ready. Totally. Is it just me, or did it just get really sweaty in here?
Nod, they should proceed with the exorcism. It's time. Okay, let's go.
I won't lie. This will be rough, Lohse. Our foe is a true archdemon. We know him now. Adramalik. There is a great power in names. Just like source is the language of creation, a demon's true name is the core of its existence. It's be-all or end-all. With his name, we may undo him. That will be our attempt. As for you...
His dark eyes flash at you.
You must not disturb us, no matter what. Promise me.
Okay.
He nods respectfully in return, then focuses on Lohse once more.
Close your eyes, Lohse. Do as I do.
Jahan takes Lohse's hands and begins inhaling slowly, deeply, then exhaling audibly through his mouth. Lohse's breaths match his. They begin to hum in unison, a low, rumbling note held over several out-breaths. The humming grows louder and louder until...
Quiet! Adramalik!
Lohse suddenly lunges forward, her hands reaching for Jahan's throat.
Stand back and watch.
Jahan steps away, and Lohse tumbles to the ground before quickly scrambling to her feet. Lose's eyes are ink black, her skin corpse grey. Her chest heaves in rapid pulses as she stares intently at Jahan.
Adramalik, thousand-named nemesis, Lord of Soot, come, shake black hands with me. Leave her. Leave her. Come play with me.
This is none of your business, Jehan. How many times do I have to convince you to keep your nose out of my affairs?
Listen to me, demon. I know why you chose her. I know what it is you fear the most, and therefore desire the most. But I'll not let her serve you any longer.
Lohse's a good host, Jehan. We're going places. It's no concern of yours.
Mashtuna Pathan Shdanelu, Kaumel Saravel, Damarael Saravel.
He places a palm on Lose's forehead. She falls to her knees, seemingly overcome by some unseen force.
You petulant would-be king. You're nothing. She is mine. She is mine.
Kaumel Saravel, Damarael Saravel, Mashtu, Shdanelu.
Lose's eyes roll back in her head. She groans, her face slack and lifeless, while her body racks with spasms. Jahan draws his palm back from her. She is rigid on the floor.
It's no use. It's too late.
Dash over and grab Lohse. Too late? Too late for what?
I failed her. The demon's not coiled around her heart. He's become her heart. Try as I might, he would not shift. Lohse's soul is buried very deeply, deeper than ever before. Adramalik may never allow her to resurface again.
Allow? What a word. Tell him Lohse is that Lohse is the one who won't allow that demon to win. Jahan's words barely reach your ears. You have focused on Lohse, your companion, your friend. She looks nothing like herself, but you don't know how to help her. Glance at Lohse, pity, but you can't be waylaid here much longer. I'll go with the first one here. She's the one who won't allow that demon to win.
She's lost, bewildered. A stranger in her own soul, desperately trying to find her way home. She's fighting a battle for her life, for her very self. It's a battle she may yet win, even if only temporarily. But she'll need your help.
What do I have to do?
You must call her spirit back from the dark. Guide her into the light. Let your voice be the shepherd that leads the lamb through the valley of wolves. Go on. Call to her.
Come back, Lohse. I can't lose you. Lohse, come back. We aren't done here. Not yet. Chop chop, Lohse. We don't have time for this. I'll go with the first one. I feel like we're friends at this point.
She stirs, barely.
Please, Lohse, you can't do this. You aren't done here. Shout, wake up. Calmly tell her it's time to return to herself. You aren't done here. Hold her close. Chant quietly, come back, come back. Shake her. Tell her this isn't the end. It just isn't. Your patience is wearing thin. Tell her there's no time to spare. She'll wake up, or you'll have to, or you'll leave her behind. This isn't the end. It just isn't.
Her eyes flutter open and dart around in a panic. They come to a focus on you.
Hey, Chief.
Well done. Very well done indeed.
Stroke her hair. There she is. Tell her you're glad she made it back in one piece. Tell her the demon is stronger than ever now. We need to find a way to get rid of it fast. I'm glad you made it back in one piece.
One piece. Something like that, anyway.
I am truly sorry, Lohse, that I couldn't exorcise the demon, but do not despair. I will not give up on you. We must simply take a darker path still. Confront Adramalik in his lair and deal with the demon face to face. You almost have to admire his cunning. To think that in his guise of Deva, he and I shared the finest wines in the realm. Stories of life and love. But now I know where he hides. Afraid of his own name. To the city of Arx you must go. I will travel with you, if I may.
Nod, tell him where the Lady Vengeance is docked, or shake your head, the failed exorcism has shaken you, would prefer to continue with your existing team alone. Now I'll tell you where the Lady Vengeance is docked.
I will meet you both there, and prepare for the coming battle. You'll yet be all, Lohse.
Okay. People have something to say. I think just Lohse this... Can I... Could the... It just goes away right when I'm about to click on her. There we go.
Hey.
Ask if she's alright. Ask her what happened back there. Tell her you need to keep moving forward. Are you alright?
No, I'm not alright. That wasn't okay. It was like dying. I was all alone in the dark. In the deep, deep dark. And I suddenly knew as clear as day that I didn't exist. That no one would ever know me. And then...
Ask her what then. Tell her you need to keep moving forward. What then?
And then I heard your voice. I heard you calling and I followed it. It was all I had in the darkness. It was the only thing I could find. Just you. Nothing else. What the hell do I do with that?
Tell her you want to help her. You care for her so much. Tell her not to read too much into it. She needed help, and you were there for her. That's what friends do. Tell her she's making much over nothing, and you ought to keep moving. Okay. So I feel like number one is kind of leaning into a like it feels like the beginning of like a romance angle. Second one is, you know, that's what friends do, I guess. And the third one is just kind of cold. Don't really want to go with the third one. That's what friends do.
Right. Right, I get it. I'm lucky to have you around, you know. Even if I can't... Well, never mind. I'm damn lucky I met you, Chief.
Are you okay? Still on the ground? There we go. Now you're back up. Do the others have anything to say about that? Beast?
Not much of a landlubber, but sometimes I get no choice in the matter. Besides, there's business to take care of.
Okay, we can talk about some things. Note that Lohse seem to have turned on the Queen.
I always figured every dwarf is pure of heart when they pop out of their mummas, but we ain't born cruel. We're made cruel. That means we can be made uncruel. Not sure Lohse will ever be an upstanding member of his community. But he knows where to draw the lines.
He mentioned Isbile. Who's that?
Listen, when I was wee, one of Laura's manservants used to tell an old lizard tale. Once, when the ancient empire stretched across all Rivellon, there was an emperor called Reza. A good lizard, but a sickly one. Scales flaking off, eyes bugging out, that kind of thing. One day, a doctor came to him. Zin was his name. And Zin said he could cure the Emperor's disease, The Emperor agreed to his poultice of herbs and black rose petals, and it worked. The Emperor was, it seems, cured, as long as he continued treatment. This didn't please the Emperor's advisor, Gaul, however. Gaul didn't want Reza cured, for he planned to inherit the Empire. So he convinced the Emperor that someone like Zin had the power to both cure and kill. On his advice, Reza had the doctor executed. With Zin dead, the Emperor's disease returned. The sickness took him soon after. The hateful Gaul took his place, ushering in a century of misery. Yeah, not a fun story to tell a kid thinking back on it. Anywho, Isbale's been at the Queen's side for years, poisoning her mind with her filth. She's like two things from that story. She's the advisor, and she's the disease. And me, I'm gonna be the cure. That metaphor works, right? I'm going with a yes.
Okay, yeah, I get what you're saying. Sure, what do you suggest we do next?
We do my favourite thing in all the world. We sail. The Council of Seven awaits, lad. Though if we dally among the waves, you won't find me complaining. And then there's Justinia. I've got to get to Arx, and soon if I want to keep that death fog out of her hands.
Okay. Thane?
Just when I think this land holds no more surprises, I find myself in some place even more dismal than the last. Still, at least this is an interesting variation on dismal.
That looked like an intense conversation with that Eternal. Ask Thane if he's okay. Oh yeah, maybe I should have asked him earlier about that.
I could be worse. I mean, I could have spent several millennia in the clutches of the void, so...
Ask him what happened.
The Eternals. They're not gone. Or, they are. But they're not dead. They're in the void. The Seven threw them to the void. They damned them to that. To an eternity of torment. And they did it in my name. They did it because of me.
But he's not responsible for the crimes of the Seven. Shake your head, you're so sorry. Nod, that does sound pretty terrible. But he's not responsible for the crimes of the Seven.
Aren't I? If you open the gate and let a mad dog loose, are you not responsible if it savages a child? I gave them my research on the Veil. I gave them a prize to snatch from the king. Worse, I gave them a weapon to use against their own people. The source of the Veil would have made them unimaginably powerful. And their theft left enough of a crack for the void to pour in. Every wickedness visited on my people. Every evil that stalks this land. It was my fault.
Grab him by the shoulders. No, he couldn't know this would happen. He's not at fault. Tell him that what's done is done. All that matters now is what he does next. Huh, you didn't think about it like that? He's right, it's absolutely his fault. He couldn't know this would happen.
True or not, it makes no difference. I did what I did, and my people suffered for it. But if I am to honor their memory, I cannot sit here and mope. I must go on for them, for my family. My loved ones may be gone. The Seven may be corrupt, but I remain. The last true Eternal must survive. And perhaps, just perhaps, I can find a way to bring my people back.
Thane grips you by the arm, his hands strong.
Come, Godwoken. There is work to be done.
I want to ask about something else.
Still, at least this is an interesting variation on dismal.
Ask if he's changed his mind about divine power given everything that's happened. Tell him you'd like to go your separate ways. No, have you changed your mind about divine power given everything that's happened?
I always thought my path was laid out. Become divine. Preserve what's left of your people. It was such an easy narrative. But what if you could do more? What if you could save them all? And worse, what if you had all that power, but they were not worth saving? I don't know. Tell me, what would you do?
tell Thane that if you had a wife and child in the clutches of the void, you would do everything you could to save them. Say that if you had started this, you would put it right. The Eternals doomed themselves. If it were you, you'd live your life and stop worrying about the mistakes of others. I guess the first one, yeah.
Thane nods slowly, lost in thought.
You're not entirely wrong. Then again, thank you. I will have to think on this.
Ask what he thinks about the time you've spent together.
It has been unlike anything I ever imagined. To explore this world with you, to see this world through your eyes, even metaphorically. Well, it has been a privilege.
Now that you're here, what does Thane think you should do?
Do what you want. What does it matter? My people are gone. Worse than gone. It's all pointless.
I'll take my leave for now. And Lohse, do you have anything else to say?
What's up, Chief?
Okay, say you'd like to talk about what happened during the exorcism.
Didn't work, did it? There's only one thing to do now. I need to ascend. If I can't get this thing out of me, then I'll need to become so powerful it won't be able to control me ever again.
Sounds good. Let's hope it doesn't work in a way where it just wields more power that way, but I'll help you out. Say you'd like to talk about some of the people you've met lately.
What, this old gaggle of weirdos?
What does she make of Jehan?
He's got the thing, you know? Some people see the world as it presents itself. Other people see it as it really is. Jehan's one of those.
Ask what she thinks about Meister Siva.
My kind of salty old crank. She certainly seems to want to help us. You don't get many of those in life. I've learned to appreciate them where I find them.
Ask if there's anyone from home she misses.
I don't know about home, but I do sort of miss the gang I travel with now and then. Crawler, Madcap, Papa Joris for sure. Musicians mostly. We all had our own stories, our own troubles, but when we were together and the music was with us, it was like none of that mattered at all. When you have people like that around you, you know, a family, even rain feels like sunshine.
That's a nice way to see it. What should we do now?
Whatever it takes to get stronger. That's the only way we're going to survive.
All right. Okay, so that part is now done. The exorcism sadly failed, but we know more now. And I'm sure we'll get this whole thing sorted later on, further on down the road. Now let's see. This is Diana. She needs the spore armor. I think the next piece is not here, but in Arcs, as I understand it. There's the cellar hatch with that one person downstairs, where I don't know how to deal with that quite yet. The distressed magister that's done. We don't need to do anything there anymore. This is Hanag, who we for some reason absolutely cannot convince of anything really. Then here we still have the Dead Magister mystery that we could either solve or at least stop the investigation of. And I think there's a couple of things that aren't marked on the map, like the spirit log thing that still needs us to find the person who cut it down. I don't know where to find that person really. I might, next episode might just be a bit of a running around and trying to find anything kind of episode, like one that takes a long time to record but ends up being relatively short because a lot of just running around has to be cut out. Also the lich that we found, we have to track that one down as well. I don't know where that one would be, so that's another instance of running around a bit. So yeah, I think that will be the next episode, the running around and finding whatever needs to be found. And then of course, this here, maybe the chicken. I don't know if we can find a way to turn that other person that's being turned into a cow back into a human, because that would have to be done as well. Yeah, and then some things on the boat. Talk to, what's his name again? Tarkin, about the 2 parts that we now have from the archive. Malady eventually will let us set out. And Jahan is here, or Jahan, who we can talk to as well, though I feel like that will become relevant once we are in Arx. Okay. I think I will call it here because I don't have a lot of time left to record. But yeah, I guess next time will be a running around and finding things here or there kind of episode. Then we'll take care of the Magistes here. We will probably end up just fighting them. There's also the guy I wanted to convince of something. I don't know if my persuasion is now good enough. It might be. We'll see. And I guess then this act is starting to come to a close. All right. So thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you then. Goodbye.